Let us solve a quadratic equation using factorization method, also called as splitting the middle term. We start by multiplying the coefficient of the quadratic term, which is 5, and the constant term -8. So when I multiply them, I get 5 times -8, which is -40. Next, I start writing all the factor pairs of 40, which means all the pairs of numbers which when multiply that give you 40, and I do that in ascending order. So I start by 1. So 1 multiplied by which number gives me 40? So 1 times 40 is 40. Then I continue with 2. 2 times 20 is 40. 3, if I try with 3, 3 is not a factor of 40, so we skip 3. Then I have 4. 4 times 10 is 40. 5 times 8 is 40. Then I have 6 and 7, which are again not factors of 40, so I skip them. Then I get 8 times 5 is 40. Now you may wonder, till when are we going to write the factor pairs of 40? So you stop when you see that a particular factor pair is repeating. So we have 5 times 8 and then 8 times 5. So 5 times 8 and 8 times 5, they are just the same. So they are repeating. So that's when you stop writing factor pairs. So these are the factor pairs that we have been looking for. After this, you take a look at the middle term, the coefficient of your linear term. So middle term is -18. Write it aside, -18. You must look for that particular factor pairs uh, uh, from which if we multiply those two factors, add two factors, we get this as answer. Add or subtract, we must get this as answer. So the difference between 40 and 1 is not 18. Difference between 20 and 2 is 18. So this is my number. So my numbers, the factors that I was looking for is 2 and 20. Now comes the point where we are to select the sign in front of these numbers. How do we select? So again, take a look at the product. So this is the product of those two factors, meaning two numbers which when multiplied are giving you a negative number. This clearly means that only one of these two numbers is negative. So your one number is positive and the other is not negative. But again, which one is positive and which one is negative? Now for that, you need to look at the sum of your numbers. So if the sum of your numbers is negative, this sign is always put in front of the larger number of these two. So the larger number is this 20. So this is -20 and this becomes +2. Now again you can check it. So -20 plus 2 gives you -18. So this is the correct combination of numbers that we were looking for. In the next step, we are going to replace the middle term by the numbers that we selected here. So let's write +2 minus 20, plus 2x minus 20x minus 8 is equal to 0. If you observe carefully, I have replaced the middle term, or I have split the middle term into two different numbers. That's why this method is also called as splitting the middle term method. Now why have we done this? Let's see. So next step, we need to group the first two terms and last two terms together and then investigate from the first two terms what number can be taken out common. So if you see 5 and 2 are not multiples of each other, so we cannot take any number common. However, there is this variable x which is present here as well as here. So x can be taken out common. What is left inside is 5x plus 2. Now from the last pair, the second pair, you can see that a negative is also common. So I take out that negative common, and then 20 and 8. We need to factorize 20 and 8 further. So 20 can be written as 2 times 2 times 5. 2 2s are 4, 4 5s are 20, and 8 can be written as 2 times 2 times 2. Now from these two places, you can see there are two 2's common at both the places. So 2 times 2 is 4. So I take out that common, and what I am left with inside is 5x. So when a negative is taken common, the sign inside has to reverse. So this becomes positive and a 2 is left inside because this pair has gone outside as common. This is equal to 0. You must always keep in mind while taking out common factors, one factor has to be common at both the places, and only then you can take it out common in the next step. So 5x plus 2 is again common in the next step. It is there at both the places. What remains inside is x minus 4 is equal to 0. At this point, you must see that the multiplication of two expressions is 0, which means either the first expression is 0 or the second expression is 0. This is called as the null factor law. Null factor law, which states that either 5x plus 2 is 0 or x minus 4 is equal to 0. So either 5x is equal to negative 2 or x is equal to 4, which again means x is equal to minus 2 upon 5. You can see that my answer for this particular question, the solution is x is equal to negative 2 by 5 or 4. So that's how you solve quadratic equation using factorization method.